into my blanket fort. I just sort of created this little tiny space where I could just live in by, like, everything I need is kind of, I can reach it, like my pills and books and laptop and everything. I'm going through a sort of bad patch health-wise just over the last week or so, so it just sort of means that my daily routine is just like wake up in bed, slide onto the floor, hang out on the floor, go for a nap, slide back onto the floor, hang out on the floor, go back to bed. It's been a pretty rough morning. I spent most of this morning lying on the bathroom floor while my organs debated the best means for repatriating the contents of my stomach. Puking and pooping is basically what I'm saying. Which taught me the valuable lesson of how dare I try to eat things. But anyway, the show must go on, so we're here. The morning wasn't entirely bad though. When I woke up, I opened my door and my mum had left a package outside. Anyway, it was an electric blanket. And I'm so happy. It's currently snowing. Not that much in Dublin, but still snowing, which, you know, it's cold. Does it have to be so cold in Ireland? Does it have to be so cold in Ireland for me? Are you waiting for me? Are you waiting for me? I feel like the rest of the lyrics are just relatable. If you have a chronic illness that's got something to do with energy, mostly energy and strength related things, your circulation gets really bad. Mostly because you just can't move very much. Like your hands and feet are always cold. I've actually read a lot of information that mentions that it's much easier to recover from ME if you're living in a warm, dry climate, which I am absolutely not. January and February, I get really bad. And it makes a lot of sense because your body actually uses energy to stay warm. And I don't have a lot of energy, so my body's using all of my energy to stay warm. So I can't really, like, function. Thus the throwing up and stuff, because who has time to digest things when you're trying not to freeze? Nobody! The other day I went out of the house. I literally went into my back garden first thing in the morning, so I was like, oh, I'll start off my days with some fresh air. That will be so healthy. It'll be such a good part of my morning routine. So I went outside and I just sat outside in the garden and drank some tea. I put on fluffy socks, boots, a big old winter coat, gloves, hat, scarves. And then when I came inside I realised I'd gotten so cold outside in the 5 minutes I've been out there drinking tea that I couldn't take my hat, coat, scarf and gloves off, or boots, for the rest of the day. And I was sitting beside radiators in full outdoor wear inside a house. Anyway, that's just a story to demonstrate to you how truly incompetent my circulation is. My mum, this is basically a video just about how great my mum is at minding me. My mum came home the other day and she brought me some daffodils. It's an interesting dichotomy, isn't it? I mean, I'm so cold and I feel like it's the depths of winter, but daffodils are growing and baby lambs are probably being born. It's like the calendar and the climate don't entirely match, just like winter and spring are existing side by side. I've been kind of weirdly enjoying my time here. It sort of feels like the entire space is just the concept of being wrapped up in a warm blanket and getting comfortable and just thinking okay, I'm just gonna have to spend the rest of the winter lying down, reading books, watching movies, and that's okay, and trying to kind of get into it and, you know, make comfy spaces and make little nests for myself. Weird thing happened the other day where I was I've kind of accepted this, and that's so weird because I specifically am very skeptical of the concept of acceptance. I kind of believe in conscious manifestation, which is this idea that basically what you think becomes reality. I kind of believe it in more of the power of positive thinking and your mind and body are the same thing kind of way, not so much in a magic way. But basically the idea is if you wake up in the morning and you say today is going to be terrible, then it's probably going to be terrible, and if you wake up in the morning and say today is going to be amazing, then it will probably be amazing. And it's about mindset, but it's also just about the things you attract, and also just sort of about, like, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, if you really, really believe something's going to happen, sometimes it just does, like, especially with physical things. For example, the placebo effect. So, like, if people are given pills, even if the pills don't work, sometimes the people feel better because they believe so much that the pills are going to help them, that they believe themselves into health. I just think that's fascinating. And so I've kind of been trying to placebo myself for about 6 years, and so far it hasn't worked. I've always kind of felt that acceptance is probably not so great. I've always been positive about it, but I haven't accepted it. I haven't been like, well, this is just life. Because I feel that if I do that, it's less likely that I will get well. So if I say, I'm going to be sick for the next month, better make myself comfortable, then I'm definitely going to be sick for the next month. Whereas if I say, I could get well, maybe I'll plan a trip to the beach with my friends just in case, then it's more likely that I will get well. Okay, I probably won't be able to, but I'll think about it and I'll plan it, because if I think about it and I plan it, that's me telling my body, like, I still expect you to be well. It's counterintuitive in a way to be really aware of your present. And there's this quote on my aunt and uncle's wall, which is, the key to happiness is not to be too emotionally involved in your own life, which I feel like is sometimes kind of how I play illness. Like, when my friends are over, or like when I'm having a chat with someone, or if I'm writing in my journal, I'm very present, but the rest of the time I'm like reading, or I'm watching TV, or I'm watching film, because I'm entertaining myself and consuming so much fiction because I'm spending so much time in bed or whatever. And as a result, I spend very little time in reality, and therefore in many ways the reason I'm happy while sick is because I'm not particularly emotionally involved in my own life. Or I am emotionally involved, but I'm only emotionally, like, I'm part-time. I'm a part-time reality dweller. I'm feeling I'm much more grounded in my own life. I think the idea of winter and the idea of the outside is currently so unappealing to me because I'm so cold, and so in a way I kind of am not longing for the outdoors. I'm actually kind of thinking, okay, I feel really safe inside beside a radiator, and I feel like there's a really logical, almost like evolutionary thing where I'm like, yeah, I want to hide in here. And like the idea of curling up in here with a book for like weeks and weeks and weeks until the frost thaws is really appealing. And as a result, I've sort of been able to like enjoy this present moment and this illness in a way where I'm not actually thinking or hoping or whatever or planning about it when I'm well all the time. A really new interesting thing to just be grateful in the present moment and like find a way to enjoy the struggle almost. I think it is weird right now because I am making progress, but because of the cold and temperature in the season I feel really bad. There's no visible signs of improvement really. I'm cold and therefore I'm really depleted of energy, so I can't see any of the progress and change that is happening. But when the ice thaws, I'll be able to make progress, and I will have established a good solid foundation from the work that I'm doing now, and I just kind of have to be aware of that. And I really understand that on an intuitive level because I'm in my body and I can kind of feel that, but it's very hard to explain to other people who are like, but why are you in bed? We're taking all these pills. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like, it's working, I'm just cold. In a way, and not to be too poetic about this, but it's exactly like the daffodils. There's snow covering the ground and it's freezing outside and you can't seem to get warm. And you think you're still in the depths of winter, but then you see a daffodil. And you know that even though it's freezing and dark, time is passing, things are changing in the natural world, even if we can't actually see it yet. Spring is coming. So you can just relax, stay inside, light a candle, read a book, and stay warm.